quick question on that.
Sure.
Say you're an early stage company. When is a good time to start this marketing process? Is it when you just have the idea in your head, when you've written down on paper, when you have your MVP, your minimal viable product, or after you've already raised some type of funding? When should I start thinking about this?
Absolutely. Well, you know, a good point is it depends on, first off, if you're a B2B or a B2C type of offering.
Okay, business to business or business to consumer.
You got it, Sean. And so if you're selling to a business, that's B2B, right? As you mentioned, and B2C is when you're selling to an individual or a group of individuals. So if you're B2B, it's typically going to be a longer a customer journey or customer life cycle. And so to think of when you're going to be marketing to them, it's typically more relationship driven. So it's going to be a slower cycle, but you want to start nurturing those relationships. This is not necessarily part of the prospect stage, which I just mentioned, but you're nurturing relationships throughout the first viewer stage, the lead, the prospect stage when they become a customer, number 4, and when they become an advocate, number 5.
Okay.
And so when to start for B2B, it's really establishing those relationships before you even potentially even building the product. Right?
Oh, wow.
It's obviously not 100% fit for everyone, but that's the best chances that you have. Because when you are ready to now sell, you have someone that already trusts you.
So before, when I just have an idea, I might already want to start at that point, reaching out to potential customers and seeing if there's interest.
Yeah, and a way I might tweak that is instead of potential, what you might call them as customers, I would even call them as colleagues, friends, associates.
Okay.
Right? Because before they become customers, again, they have to trust you. There has to be some sort of promise that your brand represents. And so if they don't have that, if they don't understand what it is, right, they're likely not going to buy unless they have a super pressing need, which is a different conversation.
But B2B, that need would be so far down the road. I mean,
Yes.
6 months, a year possibly.
Exactly.
Sorry to cut you off there, but I
It's a
want to
good
throw
point.
that in there.
It's a good point. And so if you're in a commodities industry, it's more important than ever to have relationships that drive that sale, right? If it's going to be a new innovative product, the product itself may actually be what people are convinced by. But that's on the B2B side. The relationships are really key. There are, of course, going to be advertising and content marketing campaigns that are important to that effort.
Okay.
But the relationships are especially important because you're going to be working with different influencers within that company.
Okay.
You're also going to be working with different buyers within that company. It may be one buyer, it may be the CFO. It may be the CEO and the CFO, who both have purchase power. It's a company by company basis. But to be able to win their interest, you first have to establish the relationship.
Okay.
And
And what about